Hey everybody, welcome to San Diego Fire Station number 35. Come on inside and we'll take a look around. So welcome to Station 35. This station was built in 1971. We house 3 fire engines here. We go on a lot of calls every day. This station serves a big part of San Diego. We serve communities in La Jolla, in Del Mar, Sorrento Valley, and Mira Mesa. And we'll give you guys a look around. Come on in. So this area right here is called our bullpen and our office. We'll take a look around, see what everyone's up to. So our station is also the headquarters for Battalion 5, and that's going to be his office over there. And then right in here is the office where the firefighters work throughout the day. And we got Captain Charlie West. Say hi, Charlie.
Hi, how's everyone doing?
What you up to, Charlie?
My name's Captain West. I'm working on some after incident reporting. So any emergency response that we go on, we are required to come back and fill out forms on the computer. So make sure that when you guys are in school, you get really good on the computer so that you can do this in the future if you become firefighters.
Awesome. And then we got Firefighter Kikela over here. What are you working on, Firefighter Kikela?
All right, you guys, Firefighter Kikela Souza. I'm studying up on some material, so there's a lot of material to learn in the fire service, so we study up so we can be the best we can be when you guys call us to go on calls.
That's right. Thanks, Kikela.
You're welcome.
And then we'll come on down here, and down the hallway here is, we call this the day room or the bullpen, and this is where when we're not studying or working out or eating, we get an opportunity to relax during the morning, grab our lunch, or eat meals together. And speaking of where we eat meals, this is our kitchen. This is where we prepare all of our meals each day. Firefighters take money out of their own pocket every day to buy food and prepare 3 healthy meals each day. We work 24 hours a day. So we make a breakfast, we make a lunch, and we make a dinner. So it's really important that we eat a healthy, balanced diet so that when you guys need us, that we have the proper energy and food to fuel us while we're providing service to you. All right, so welcome back out to the apparatus floor. We're going to walk down to where we sleep. Like I said, we work here for 24 hours a day. We're on duty during the nighttime as well. So when we're not busy running calls, we need to have a place to sleep. So this is where we do that. So in here we also have a bathroom, pretty standard, nothing real exciting there. But then we have a bedroom for all the firefighters who are on duty. So as I said before, we have 3 fire engines at this fire station, but 2 of them are staffed all the time. So the fire engine and the fire truck, they each have 4 firefighters on them. So 8 people are here every day and they need a place to sleep. So this is what a typical firefighter's bedroom looks like. This is a captain's room. You know it's a captain's room because they have a computer. Like Captain West said, we have to do a lot of administrative work. So we have a place to work and do our paperwork and keep up to date on all of our administrative tasks. All right, so this area used to be a big open dorm without walls, so then they put up these walls to give us individual sleeping areas, and it's in a big U shape, so we're just going to come right back out the door here, and we're going to go to our gym. So we have to be physically fit and healthy to be able to provide service when you guys need our help. So we have a gym here. And firefighter Shane is out working with his weights. What you doing today, Shane? What you working on?
Hey everyone, my name is Firefighter Shane. I'm a firefighter paramedic. It's very important for firefighters to work out and stay healthy, so we work out every single day.
Rad. Keep up the good work, Shane. All right, and so other stuff that we have to do throughout the day besides working out, keeping up on our administrative tasks, doing our training or eating, is we also have to maintain all of our tools and equipment. So we have a room over here. We call this the oil room, and this is where we work on all of our tools, and it looks like firefighter Jordan is working on a chainsaw. What you doing here, Jordan?
Hi everybody, welcome to the oil room here at Station 35. It's important that we clean and maintain all our tools because you never know at what point we might need them, so we got to have them in a ready condition all the time.
So like I said, we have the 3 fire engines here each day, and part of what we have to do is check out each of the fire engines. So let's go check in with fire engineer Dustin Kuhn, see what he's up to. Now if you notice this big tube right here, you might be wondering what this is. This hooks up to the exhaust system so that when we start up the fire engines, none of the bad exhaust gets into the apparatus floor here. It helps keep us healthy. It makes our work site safer. And so this is our frontline engine. This is engine 35. This engine provides service throughout UTC La Jolla, Del Mar, Sorrento Valley, and parts of Mira Mesa. And this is fire engineer Dustin Kuhn, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what he does each day.
Hi, I'm Dustin, and I'm the fire engineer, which basically means I drive the fire engine. So my day starts, I get here in the morning at 7 a.m. I find the driver that just worked the last 24 hours, and we relieve each other. So I say, hey, I got it from here. What did you guys do yesterday? What calls did you run? Did you go to a fire? Did you go to a medical aid, help some people? And did you use any of the equipment? Then I'll put all of my gear inside, which I'll show you in a second. But I come over here and I look at and I adjust my seat, the mirrors, everything I need to do to make this to where I can drive it safely and get to the calls. So we have a lot of buttons in here. All those buttons up there run a lot of the lights that you see flashing on the road, and they run a lot of the auxiliary equipment that we have. We have a couple of that little handles, part of our braking system, so we can stop. These weigh a lot. They're very heavy and they're hard to stop, so we have a lot of different brakes on this. We have all of our gauges, and we have a little yellow lever that turns the pump on and off so we can spray water. This plug right here, this is plugged into the fire station. Whenever we're not driving, we have to keep it plugged in. And basically, we have a computer on here. We have a lot of electronics, so if we didn't have this plugged in, it would drain the batteries and it wouldn't start, and that would be a problem. This is where the firefighters and the paramedics sit. They have all their gear stacked there. There's a whole lot of stuff they have to take with us every day. And you'll see the headphones hanging there. The reason you see us driving out with headphones is it's really loud inside, and we kind of sit far from each other. And we need to talk about the call we're going to, maybe if we see a hazard. We're constantly communicating the whole time. This panel, this is the pump panel. So this has a whole lot of levers, and each one of these little gauges goes to a hose. We have 3 hoses right here. We have 3 different lengths. We have a 100-foot, 150, and a 200-foot hose. So we can take the appropriate length hose to get to the fire. We even have a backboard right here. This is to help people that have been injured in, say, a car accident or something of that nature. So in school, when you do your math class, you have to pay attention because you have to use basic math to figure out each pressure, which can be difficult at 3 in the morning when you haven't slept much. So being good at math is it's a skill you need to be able to figure this stuff out. Moving on here, this is all my gear. These are my pants. This is a bunch of little extra goodies I bring with me. We have a lot of extra tools in here. This is what we use to open up the fire hydrant so we can supply water from the fire hydrant to the fire engine. We have a hammer. We have a lot of cool little stuff in here. This is all spare nozzles. So this is one of the smaller nozzles we have that goes on one of those 3 hoses, and they only get bigger from this. Here's another bigger one. You can always see that it gets a lot bigger, and they get heavy. So working out, eating vegetables, eating healthy, and staying healthy is pretty key to our job. Here's another big nozzle. This one allows you to hold on tight so you don't go flying up in the air. Okay, so under this little compartment, we have some spare breathing bottles. So these carry 45 minutes of air in them. And that's 45 minutes if you're sitting still doing nothing. When you're really working really hard, you could go through this in 15-20 minutes. There's a lot of little hidden doors on this rig because we have a lot of equipment that we use. Now in here, we have one of these. You've probably seen this before. That's a fire extinguisher. And this is another fire extinguisher, but this only has water in it. This is a chainsaw. We use this to maybe cut a hole in a roof. And when we cut a hole in a roof, that basically lets all of the hot air and smoke out so we can see inside, and it'll increase the chance of survival if anyone's stuck inside the house. We have some braces and so on for helping people when their bones are broken. And we also have, you might have seen one of these, a fire axe. Pretty cool. All right, we'll move on to the next compartment. This is actually another hidden one. This is where we put diesel in the rig. It runs on diesel. So if you ever wondered where we put diesel in it, that's the spot. And we have our own fuel tank in the back of the station. That's why you don't see us at the gas station getting fuel. Up here we have some rope, and we have another bag of rope. These here are called SCBAs. They're very similar to a scuba tank. If you've ever seen a scuba tank before, when they dive underwater to go look at fish, it's very similar. It's basically the same thing. This is like a big backpack that we can wear, and this allows us to go inside of a smoky environment, say a house on fire, or anything that would be dangerous for us to breathe in. It makes a lot of noise, so if you ever see us with one of these on, it might be a little scary, but you got to come to us. It's safe. This here is a little hydraulic motor, which basically powers big giant scissors. These are scissors that we can use to cut up a car. If somebody got in an accident and were trapped in their car, we could open their car up for them and get them out and get them to the hospital so they can get some help. Right back here, we carry all of our hose that hooks to this big hose right here. This hooks to the fire hydrant. And so when you see a fire hydrant and there's a big round cap on it, like that big, that's what we hook the hose to, and then it goes right to here. And so we can open up the fire hydrant and fill this full of water. Now we already have 500 gallons of water inside of here, which is like a lot of bathtubs full of water basically, if you think about it that way. Over here we have some smaller hose. And when I showed you that nozzle earlier, you got to hold on with two hands so you don't go flying in the air. This is the hose it would be attached to. Now in this compartment, this backpack has 3 pieces of hose on it. And this is what we use for brush fires, like grass on fire, bushes on fire. We would use this hose. It's about 100 feet long each piece, which is the size of a football field. If you think about that, we could go about the length of a football field with this backpack. These are extra hoses that we use to hook to the fire hydrant. As you can see how big that is compared to my hand. Pretty big. We have some safety cones here, and that just when we're on the side of the road, we put them out so cars can see us and go around us, and it keeps us and the patient safe, which is our #1 priority. Hey Tim.
Hey, how's it going?
This is Tim Tronconi. He's our firefighter paramedic. He sits in the back seat of the fire engine and does a lot of the work. I'll let him show you around the rest of the fire engine.
Hi boys and girls, my name's firefighter paramedic Tim Tronconi. So I'm also a firefighter, but I'm also a paramedic. So that means that we don't only go to fires, but we also go to medical emergencies. So if you call 911 because you're either sick or you're hurt, we'll come and we'll be able to help you. So in this compartment over here, we have all of our medical supplies and medical equipment, so we're able to help you if you're sick or injured. We have a monitor to check out your heart. We have some medications we could give you if you're sick. And if your parents ask you to call 911, you're going to call and we're going to show up and we're going to take care of you. In here, we have extra tools. I'll show you my favorite tool. It's a fire axe. You could chop things with it, cut through roofs. It's a lot of fun. We also have some more hose up here. This, we could carry it like a purse. And we could go up floors and climb upstairs to be able to fight the fire. We also have some more tools in here. This is called the irons. We're able to break down doors with this and get into locked gates and all types of things. In here, this is called the breathing apparatus. We're able to put this on and it protects us from the smoke and the fire, so we're able to rescue you. And this is where I sit on the rig over here. Watch out for the hose there. This is my seat on the rig. I get to look out this window, and this is where I sit when we go on calls. And we're ready to respond to any emergency to help you out.
Thanks, Firefighter Tim. Let's come look over at the captain's seat. Now, the firefighter seats, that's where the real work is done. Those two firefighters in back do all the heavy lifting. They're the ones who pull the hose. They're the ones who throw the ladders. They're the ones who usually go inside the building and stretch the hose and look for people and pull them outside. This seat right here is where the captain sits. So the captain is in charge of either the fire engine or the fire truck. They have a crew of 4 people, and they monitor this computer. We call this the MDC, the mobile data computer, and it shows us all the calls that are going on, and it gives us information about the call that we're going on if you've called us for help. The captain also monitors all the radios and talks to dispatch and asks for additional people to come and help, or we let dispatch know that we're all done and we're heading back to the fire station. Let's go back around to the front of the fire engine, and we're going to see if we can find Engineer Kuhn. Hey, there you are, Dustin.
Hey.
You getting ready to pull the engine out?
Yeah, why don't we pull it out and I'll show you how it works. Let's talk about how we turn the lights on. If you ever see us going down the street and you hear the sirens and you see the lights, this is how we do it. This button right here turns all the lights on the whole rig. And we can honk the horn. Oh. We can also even turn the sirens on right here. Pretty cool, huh? Let's tilt the cab and see how the motor looks. So there's a big giant motor underneath this under the cab here. And so every morning we have to check the oil, we have to check and make sure that this is gonna run really good and get us to every single emergency safely and quick. So what we do is we put our wheel chock down, which is that thing sitting right in front of the wheel. And what that does is keep it from rolling. Then we come over here, we turn this switch, and we hit a button. And up comes the cab. It's kind of like a transformer if you ever watched that cartoon. And there we go. This is what the engine looks like. This is all the suspension. There's the one big hydraulic ram that lifts this whole cab up. And the normal car, your normal car has 1 battery. This has 3 here and 3 over there. So we have 6 batteries running this. And all these pipes right here, if you can see the pipes, that's all part of the pump. Each one of those pipes goes to a hose. So when we spray water, one of those will be supplying the hose line to put the fire out. That's part of being an engineer, is making sure that this has everything is tip top and ready to go.
Okay, so engineer AJ is going to put the big ladder up, and first to do that he has to put these big stabilizers out. We call these things outriggers. To be able to make the outriggers stable, he puts these big metal pads down. We call those jack plates. And the jack plates help distribute the load so that the outrigger doesn't push too far into the asphalt. There's 2 sets of outriggers, 1 on each side of the truck. And you got to put all 4 out so that the truck is nice and stable before we put the big heavy ladder up. He's pulling out the other jack plate. And he's got to do 1 last jack plate before he can come around and he can begin to extend the outrigger down so it transfers the weight of the truck down into the ground. You can see him using the handles to activate the hydraulics on the outrigger, and there he is putting those outriggers down so they're in contact with the ground and lifting the truck up so we transfer the weight off of the truck's chassis and onto the outriggers. And he's got the second set going down. And now that he's got them lifted up, he checks his green lights that he just pointed to. Those indicate that the truck is stable and secure. And that big metal pin there is a safety to make sure that it's latched. Here are those stabilizing lights. We got to make sure all 4 of those lights are lit in green. That says that the load is stabilized. And he's finishing up pinning the outriggers. Like I said, those are for a safety in case the hydraulics leak and then the outrigger doesn't sink all the way down. Good job, AJ. All right, thanks guys. We really appreciate you coming by Fire Station 35 here in the city of San Diego. We can't tell you how excited we were to see you and just what a privilege it is for us to be able to come here and work and take care of you and your families every single day. Thanks for the time that you took to learn about what we do, and we look forward to seeing you out there. Be safe.